already on it. Fantastic. All right. Hello and welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Crow. I'm super excited to see everyone here today. We are going to be talking about speaking opportunities that are available right now for you to start getting on some stages and sharing a little bit about who you are and what you're up to in the world. We have a couple of in-person stages. We also have some stages that are, most of our stages that we're going to be talking about today are virtual summits, but we do have some other speaking opportunities as well. So if you are looking to get on stages to share your message with the world, you are in the right place today. This will go on for about 90 minutes. We'll try to cover all of the material in 60. It would be my goal to do that. And then we'll have time for Q&A at the end. The question that I have in mind for all of you right now is, are you looking to make money speaking? Please put yes in the chat if you would like to make money speaking. Please put yes in the chat if you'd like to make money speaking. Okay, cool. I want you to find the chat because it's going to be very interactive in the chat. Awesome. Okay, if you would like to make a living speaking, please put heck yes in the chat. Put heck yes in the chat if you would like to make a living speaking. And if you would like to make a living and a difference in the world by speaking, put definitely in the chat. Put definitely in the chat if you want to make a living and a difference by speaking, because that means that you are a heart-centered entrepreneur, coach, author, speaker, creative, healer, and you want to make a difference in the world. And those are my people. You're my people. Awesome. So if we haven't met yet, my name is Kimberly Crow. I'm an international inspirational public speaker, and I'm a serial entrepreneur. Like many of you, I have decided to create over and over again all kinds of different ways to serve the world. I've had the privilege and blessing of being on over 5,000 stages, including TEDx in Las Vegas. And besides doing guest speaker information calls, we have a weekly event that is designed to connect you with stages, not just my stages, but stages from anybody. So if you have a stage like a podcast, radio show, TV show, web summit, webinar, virtual stage, or real live in-person stage, you should definitely check out Speakers Playhouse. It's totally free and every week, and it is the best 90 minutes of your week. We'll put a link in the chat for you guys to be able to join Speakers Playhouse. Again, completely free, great place to have gamified networking with people who have stages and other speakers who can help you connect with stages that they've been on as well. I also have an event called Podapalooza. It's a super fun virtual one-day event for podcasters and speakers that happens 3 times a year. Our next one coming up is on February the 19th, and it's going to be amazeballs. If you guys have been to Podapalooza in the before, give it some love in the chat. Podapalooza is an amazing event where our VIPs actually get to be interviewed on podcasts during the event, up to 5 podcasts during the event. And if you're a podcaster, you can be one of our featured podcasters and get up to 10 podcasts recorded during the event, which for many of you is a whole season. You pick the VIPs that are a match for you. You see their name, their headshot, their bio, their talk title, and the target market they're trying to get in front of, and you pick which ones are a match for you. And as a VIP, you pick which podcasts are a match for you. If it's focused on health or entrepreneurship or mindset or spirituality, and you just click through and say, these are the podcasts I'd like to get on. And when there's a match, we actually put you in the Podatorium, a special breakout room just for the podcasters and speakers to be able to connect and record the content during the event. So not like, oh, I'll meet you and we'll set up a time next May to be able to record right there, right? It's happening right there. You're gonna get 5 podcasts, up to 5 podcasts in a single day. We say up to. Many of our people actually do get 5 podcasts. There's actually a secret way to get a 6th podcast potentially. You have to win it, but there is a potential for some people who have gotten 6 podcasts recorded in a single day. Totally awesome. And then during the event, if you are not a VIP and you are not being interviewed during the event, we teach everything that you need to know about how to make money podcasting, how to make money by podcast guesting, what to give as a call to action at the end of your talk, and how to make sure that you are as successful as possible. But it's all about podcasting. So if that's you, you're going to want to check that out. I think it's still on early bird pricing, so you might want to check that out if you want to get just a general admission ticket, or you want to go VIP and actually get interviewed during the event. Okay, So that's a little bit about who I am and how I show up in the world. We got lots of other things as well. I do not actually do speaker coaching. Many of you do speaker coaching, and that's awesome. So we can partner together and be friends. I do not compete with you at all. I just create events and have opportunities for you guys to get on stages. So if you are looking to connect with somebody who can help you do that, that's awesome. Also, somebody asked me recently, like, do you charge for Speakers Playhouse to get them connected? Like, here's a podcaster, here's a speaker. If you guys connect, do I get paid on that? The answer is no. If the podcaster is charging anything at all, which most of them don't, that's between you and them. So we don't actually. It's basically an opportunity to get you connected with stages. So totally free event. If you guys want to check that out, go to Speakers Playhouse, sign up every Thursday. Best 90 minutes of my week. And we take great care of our new people. Okay, awesome. So I already got to love your energy, Kimberly. I love it. I am very well known for that. If it's not fun, it's not worth doing. It's my motto. And yes, very high energy. This, ladies and gentlemen, is decaf coffee. Imagine if it was caffeinated. Okay, awesome. Okay, so thank you very much for those of you who have already put something in the chat. I love it. That's super powerful. We're going to have a lot of fun today. We're going to take great care of you. So the agenda today, we're going to have you guys put in the chat and do a pre-application if you want for many of the stages. I have, I think, 8 to 12 stages that we're going to be talking about today of speaking opportunities that are my speaking opportunities that can get you on stages. There is something in there for everyone, I bet. I would be very surprised if you guys came out of here and were like, none of these stages work for me, because something in there is probably going to work for you. It doesn't really matter what kind of audience you're looking for. Because we have a little something for everybody. So we're going to go over the speaking opportunities, and then we're going to talk about what happens during my virtual stages. So if you get on one of my virtual events, we're actually going to walk through what happens before the event, during the actual interview, and during your talk, and then what happens after the event, what you're responsible for, what we're responsible for, and then after all of that, we're going to cover what makes a great downloadable. Now, I have done over 100 events like this for other people, and I have seen what works really well to get grabbed at the end of your talk and what doesn't get grabbed so often. So I will share strictly my opinion on what works really well for a downloadable, lead magnet, list builder, freebie, whatever you want to call it, and what does not work so well. And then we will also talk about VIP gifts and why it's in your best interest to give one. And the secret, it's the best deal that's out there. It basically gives you access to buyers. It's a totally great program. So we'll talk about what makes a great VIP gift, and that you probably already have one, and what does not work so well as VIP gifts. So we'll talk about that. And then after that, I'm going to try to nail that right at the the hour. And then after that, we will have Q&A. Okay. All right. Awesome. So that's our agenda for today. You guys, if you have to leave before the Q&A, I would definitely try to stay for the Q&A. If you have questions, the recording will be sent out to everybody who registered for this event. So if you have to jump out, that's fine. You will get the recording, but I highly recommend staying here and being as interactive as possible, because you're going to get a chance, if we have any of our show hosts that I'm working with, you'll get a chance to meet them, and you can connect with them in the chat, etc. Okay, awesome. So that's our little agenda for today. So I would love to know a little bit about your speaking goals. So first off, let us know what type of coach or consultant or entrepreneur you are. Like, what do you do? Are you a health coach? Or are you a entrepreneur business coach? Are you a relationship coach? Are you something else? What kind of coach are you? So let us know in the chat what kind of coach you are. Business success coach, entrepreneur. Wow, I got a lot for you guys. Awesome. Life coach. Awesome. You're in the right place. Definitely. Parent coach. Okay, good. Yep. Man, we got something for everybody here. Okay, cool. Business coach, holistic health, public speaking. Awesome, Molly. What is the cost? I got a private message. What is the cost for the February 19th event? if my team could put the link for Potapalooza in the chat, I don't know, because I think it's still on early bird. And the VIP, I think, is 197 on early bird, but I don't know what general admission is. So, okay. Let's see, author, wanting to help other authors. Awesome. Spiritual coach. Okay, great. Awesome. You guys are in the right place. We everything that I've seen, we have a potential show for. So I would like to know, how long have you had your business? Just put it in the chat really quick. Are you brand new? Have you been in for 19 years? Have you been in for a year? Are you still planning on being in business one day? Like, where are you in this community? I just need to get sort of a okay, so we got a range. Okay, some people brand new, some people 8 years, 20 years, 1 year. Awesome. And some of you who have been in it 20 years have not been doing the same thing for 20 years. Like, now you just launched a new program and you're like, oh my gosh, this is like, I've been in business, I've been an entrepreneur for 20 years, but now I'm an entrepreneur who sells business coaching and does time management. Right? So maybe that's a little bit of a tweak of your business. Okay, good. That helps me know what to focus on today. And then for those of you who lead communities, do any of you have your own membership, mastermind, something where you have a community that you teach to and that you bring guest experts to? So put "that's me" in the chat if you do. If you have a membership or a mastermind where you bring in guest experts to teach them things. So if you're doing that, I would love to reach out to you individually and talk about how we can get those people on stages, and I can teach to them and I waive my fee for that, but teach to them a little bit about that. So if that's of interest to you, put "that's me" in the chat box and I will reach out to you separately on that. Awesome. Okay, so next, I want to talk a little bit about what you're going to be speaking about, because that's super important. So first, I want to know who you speak to. So put in the chat what kinds of people you speak to. So women over 40, fourth grade teachers, entrepreneurs, women in business. What kinds of people do you teach? And what's your target market for people who buy your stuff? So awesome. Fantastic. I do have a connection for you guys who are doing parents. Hopefully you already know him. His name is Dr. Ali Lankarani. He has a whole thing and we'll connect you with them. Great. Women in business. Somebody put Toastmasters in there. Do you teach Toastmasters? Is that you teach? Maybe speakers? I don't know. I'm a big fan of Toastmasters, but I do not recommend it actually for our community. Go to Toastmasters, be a leader in Toastmasters, be a I don't forget what they call it, a division director or something like that, and help people get over their fear of public speaking. That's awesome. We should all be doing that. I served in Toastmasters for many years. I love Toastmasters, but Toastmasters is really for engineers who don't want to throw up on their shoes when they're talking to their boss in a presentation, right? For us, we need a lot more than 7 minutes every 3 months on the stage. We need a lot more practice than that. So hopefully you have communities. If you do not have a community that you belong to, please reach out to me. We have lots of opportunities for you guys to practice your speech in something called Presenters Practice Room, which is really a cool new program that we have. So get the reps in. It's like going to the gym. You got to get the reps in and get on podcasts as quickly as possible. Okay. All right, so good. I think we can really cover pretty much everybody that's put something in the chat so far. I would also like you, hopefully you all have a signature talk. Please put your signature talk title in the chat. So if you have a signature talk, the one that you usually give, the one that you're known for. For example, I am known for a talk called Profitably Speaking, how to get on 4 types of stages and profit from each one. Right? That is my signature talk. So if you would put your signature talk title in the chat. I know many of you speak on a lot of things. Please don't say I can speak on anything. That means nothing to us it means nothing to us that have shows. Like, we don't want you to speak on anything. We want you to be an expert in something and share your expertise with our audience. So give us a signature talk. Awesome. Play a bigger game, trample the terror barrier. I like that. Why change is not working. Ooh, these are good talk titles. How to live your win anyway life. Awesome. If you're brand new and you're not sure what it should be, that's so probably get some ideas from the stuff people are putting in the chat. Master your moves and your message. Why you are who you are, perspective, perceive, and perspective. Awesome. Writing authentic historical fiction. Oh my God, that's so cool. I have somebody to connect you with. 7 secrets to 7 figures. I love that. Empowering kids to care. Nice. Okay. I wasn't planning on teaching this, but here's a tip. 3 things make a really sexy talk title. 3 things make a really sexy talk title. So you might want to change your talk title after you hear this. Number 1, be clear, not clever. All right. Be clear. Let us know what you're going to teach our audience, and let our audience know what they're in for. So if you have this really clever title like Achieve the Dream or The Silk Road to Success or something like that, if we don't understand it, we're not going to tune in, and we might not book you. I mean, we might book you, but we might have questions first before we book you. We want to know what you're actually going to teach our audience. So number 1 rule is be clear, not clever, right? Between clever, creative, and clear, pick clear. Right? So number 1, be clear, not clever. Number 2, put the name of your target market into your talk title. Put the name of your talk title, target market into your talk title. So it could be blah, blah, blah for entrepreneurs, or blah, blah, blah for women over 40, right? Then we know that if we're women over 40, we're like, oh, that's for me. That's a talk for me. I want to go to that talk. And if we're booking for our stages and it says for women over 40 and I have a stage for women, I'll be like, ah, that's a good talk. I should book them. Right? So put the name of your target market into your talk title. There's an exception to that. You can also allude to it. So if you are parents, there's a bunch of people here who serve parents. If you could put, like, if you put potty training success secrets for your 4-year-old or 2-year-old or whatever, then it's obvious that's for parents or potentially grandparents, right? So if you put the name of your target market into your talk, or it's very clear who it's for, then you definitely, then it's okay. But if I say, I teach on the dream methodology, you don't know if that is for people who are having trouble sleeping. You don't know if that is for entrepreneurs. You do not know if that is for children. You have no idea what the dream methodology is, right? So you got to be a little bit more clear with me on who it's for, right? And the third thing you can do to make a sexy talk title is put a number in it. Put a number in it. We want to know, our little brains want to know how much or how long, right? So if it's the 7 secrets to blah, 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 7 secrets to 7 figures is a good one, right? But it could be, and it's sort of implied that it's entrepreneurs, right? So that particular one, I was like, oh, that's a solid talk title, right? It jumped right out at me. So put a number in your talk title. Our brains want to know how much or how long. This works for your downloadables as well. Be clear, not clever. Put the name of your target market in it and put a number in it. So if I gave you a downloadable that was the 365 ideas for social media posts in 2025, you might grab that, right? If that's what you're after for entrepreneurs or for healers or for creatives, right? You might grab that, but don't make that your talk title. We don't think 360, that sounds like a lot. Like, I don't want to learn 365 from a talk, right? You got to give that to me in paper somehow. Okay. Awesome. So just an idea for you guys. You do not have to change your signature talk title, but just so that you can get from that, like, behind the scenes, it's kind of one of those things that helps us know if we're like, that talk for that show is perfect, right? So, so just a little tip for you guys. Don't change your talk title. I'm not telling you to change. I'm just saying, here's an idea. I hope that was helpful. Okay, great. Now we're going to put a link in the chat for you guys to be able to apply. Some of you have already done this, but apply, it's not really apply, it's just indicate interest in a particular show. Okay, so we're going to put a link in the chat, and boy, Troy is all over it today. He's so awesome. Shout out to my amazing team who are always in the background. And I don't answer that support line. They answer it 24/7. They're fantastic. I could not do this without the team that I have in place. And Troy is absolutely at the top of his game. So if you guys click on that link, you're going to be able to fill out a form. Some of you have already filled this out, which is awesome. But basically, it's just going to ask for your name, your email, the ideal audience that you have. So women over 50 or whatever it is, your ideal audience, and your talk title. And you have already figured that out because you've already put it in the chat. You can use a new talk title if you have one. And then tell us what stages you're looking for. Web summits, I got a lot of those. And then podcasts, which you should come to Speakers Playhouse or Potapalooza. In-person live stages, I do have several of those. Radio shows, television shows, that's in my community. I don't have either one of those personally. I did have a television show, I don't anymore. I have it, but I'm not recording new content for it. Streaming live social media, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, etc. Or if you're open, you just want to know about all of them. And then the next question is, do you serve the major market? Now, I'm actually going through the left side of the form, but if you have a stage of your very own, if you're a podcaster or you have a stage, please register it on the right-hand side of the page. You can fill that in now or later, whatever, but I'm just going through the left side, and you can just click next after each one. So then click our major markets. What major markets do you serve? We make these big buckets available because it helps us be like, okay, give me everybody who speaks to entrepreneurs, give me everybody who speaks to women. And then we can find those very quickly and refer them to our folks that are looking for those kinds of people. All right, and then we have a stage for you. So the next page after that, you can check which ones you might be interested in, and you can see that there's the title of the stage, and then underneath that, it actually says what people it serves, right? So if you serve entrepreneurs and coaches, the very first one, Aligned Business Summit, might be for you. It's happening on January 21st, 2025. So if you don't know what I'm doing, we'll put the link in the chat again so you can fill out this form. It's the left-hand side of the page. Now, some of you have already done it, and that's awesome. You can fill it out as many times as you like. You can fill it out early and often. If you have one particular talk title, somebody figured this out. It's really cool. If you have one particular talk title that's perfect for one particular talk, you can actually fill it out a second time and only check that box. Now, what happens afterwards, after you check the box and you click next, then it's going to say, thank you, your speaker titles have been captured and successfully captured. And then you'll click on check out our speaking opportunities, which will give you details about all of them. Now, here's the thing. When you fill out your information, it basically just says that you're indicating interest in this particular thing. Pardon me. An email will get fired off to you so that you have the contact information of that show host, and you can email them directly and say, hey, for your show, I actually have another talk title that might be good for your show in particular, and it's called this, or I'm really looking forward to it, or tell me more, or whatever. But you're going to get their contact information. So now you're in direct connection with the person who owns that stage. So you will be able to connect with them directly and start asking questions. Now, some of the stages are pay to play. A pay to play might be an admin fee of some level, usually under $100 for an admin fee. And then some of them might actually have a deposit to guarantee that you do what you say you're going to do as a speaker on our live events. All of my events are live. I don't do any recorded events. That's not true. I have had podcasts, which are all recorded. They're not live. But right now, what we're talking about today are all live events. So if we book you as a speaker on a live event and you no-show, that's a problem for us. So if you've just paid a little admin fee and you're like, nah, Johnny's soccer game is today, but we've told 1,000 people that you're going to come and teach them how to use Facebook ads, that's a problem for us, right? So some of our events have a deposit in it saying that you will do what you're supposed to do as a speaker. Number one is that you will make sure that you promote effectively, because that's the rule with summits. You got to be able to share it with your audience. Number two is that you show up live to your live talk. We think that's a no-brainer, but believe me, after doing 100 events, we do have people that just forget or no-show or just blow it off because it's not important. That's a problem for us. So we keep a deposit, and if you don't promote effectively, if you don't promote the event, or you don't if you don't show up live, then that deposit is forfeited, just so you know. Okay, so just make sure that you do what you're supposed to do as a speaker. Totally awesome. Okay, so if you want to check out the speaking opportunities individually, you're going to click on that show me the speaking opportunities page, and this is what you are going to see. So I'm going to share my screen real quick. And this is the one, I think, and I'm going to share it with sound. Share. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see that. We should be on the same page. You guys might have a little introduction thing up here. After you see this page so many times, it goes away. So it doesn't play that video on your machine. So mine's disappeared. But these are the speaking opportunities. And so we pretty much have something for everyone. This is our guest speaker information call. You're on it right now. We do this about once a month, talking about our new speaking opportunities. So if you have friends and you're like, oh my God, you got to come to this. She's got a ton of speaking opportunities. There will be another one announced. It'll be sometime in February or March, but we do them about once a month. Then we have Voices of Women. This is a virtual summit. Voices of Women is on International Women's Day. This is our largest summit by far. We do PR on it. We do both press releases and public relations on this particular summit. We do advertising for this summit for you. We have thousands of people that are already registered for this summit to attend it, waiting for your content. If you are a woman, you can speak on this summit and share your content. All of our summits are interview style, which means that you do not have to have a talk prepared. All of our summits are 25-minute speaking spots with a 5-minute break in between speakers. We run them on time. So you will have an opportunity to get interviewed during the event on your topic. And I'm going to walk through what happens in the actual interview, so there's no surprises. Most of the people who've been on interviews with me come out of it and they're like, oh my God, that was so amazing. It's so awesome. And we'll show you some of the actual responses from people who've been on them. But I want to go through what's available first. So Voices of Women, all women should sign up for this. There is no deposit on this. It's a $97 admin fee. Or if you're under the age of 20, you can be on our youth track, and I think it's just $47. If you know young women who need to speak on this event, please direct them to this. We would love to have them on that. In fact, we actually do have some sponsorships available for young women to speak. So if you're interested in sponsoring, we would love to have you do that. You can just send an email to our team, or you can put sponsor in the chat box to help some young women get their voices out there. Again, it's interview style, so they're very well taken care of, and they get a chance to start speaking earlier. How many of us, men and women, were told to sit down and shut up rather than, hey, we care about your message and your voice and we want to hear you speak, right? So this is an opportunity to be able to do that. Next is the Entrepreneurs Rocket Fuel Summit. It's number 17. This is my signature summit. I do all of the interviews on this summit personally. We have a limited number because it's one day and we can only fit in so many talks during that one day. So that is a huge summit. We already have 600 people registered for that summit. So we would love for you guys to be able to join that. This one is practical, tactical advice for entrepreneurs. If you teach people how to get over back problems or how to lose weight, this is not the summit for you. Please do not apply for this summit. If you apply for the summit and you pay your admin fee and your $97 admin fee and your deposit, and you are not a match for this summit, we will return 100% of your funds. It actually costs me money to do that because I have to pay PayPal anyway, but I will return 100% of your funds. We are not charging you if we do not book you on the summit. If you, for whatever reason, you are not booked for the summit, you will get a 100% refund of all fees paid for that summit. Now, this has happened occasionally because we've had men apply for the Voices of Women Summit, and you're not eligible. I love you guys. We want you to support us in the background. We'd love for you to help to get the word out. You are definitely, I would love to have you as a tech host for the event, supporting these women, but our interviews are done by interview hosts that are women, and only women speak on this particular event. So if you're not a match for the summit, we will return 100% of your money, admin fee, deposit, all of it, okay? Once you are booked, once you have applied and you are booked for the show, then you're in, and the admin fee is paid for us to promote the event and to support the event. I have a lot of team members that I pay to be able to support our events. So the money goes to be able to offset the cost of me putting on the different events for you to be able to speak. All right. So the Entrepreneurs Rocket Fuel Web Summit, that's practical, tactical advice for entrepreneurs. Please only apply for that one if you do have tactical, practical advice. It is one track. You're not competing against any other speakers. I'm the only interview host for it. It's one day. That's a powerful event, but it's my signature summit. And I think the deposit is the highest deposit we have, which is $300 as a deposit. We want you to show up. If you don't show up and we don't have any other speakers speaking, then I have to tap dance for your 25-minute talk. And it's not like I can't do it. It's like I don't want to do it. So please make sure that you don't apply for that unless you are a match and that you actually show up when you're supposed to. Okay. Down here is the Inspire Your Life Summit. Where are my woo people? Wave at me if you're like, I'm in the woo world, spirituality, transformation, personal growth, right? This is your summit, ladies and gentlemen. This is the one for you. So if you're in that transformation, human development, human design, personal development, personal growth, this is the summit for you. So you're definitely going to want to check that one out. Voices of Color. Everyone is eligible for this, even our white friends and our white guys. Like, everybody is eligible for it, right? Everybody can speak on Voices of Color. It is really designed to help marginalized groups get their voice heard. So do we have Consuela here? If we do, can you spotlight her and have her unmute? This is Consuela Munoz and I do this summit together. And so anybody is eligible for that. Yes, it is designed for people of color. We have a lot of people of color on this summit. That's awesome. Just so you guys know, a personal thing for me is I am an international inspirational public speaker. But if you Google that, you're going to get a whole bunch of white guys and like 4 other people. And I'm not going to show up. And the problem with that is that there are a lot of other people that are out there in the world who have amazing messages, sometimes as amazing as those white guys. Right? So, and more. So we want to make sure those marginalized groups get seen and heard in a bigger way. So this is a platform to be able to elevate those voices. But we do not restrict anybody from being on this. So no matter who you are, what persuasion, color, creed, race, religion, you are welcome to join the Voices of Color Summit. We just want to make sure that a variety of voices get seen and heard on this particular summit. Okay, and please share it with your friends. Let them join it as well. All right, so that's Voices of Color. Then we have the Aligned Business Summit, which is for entrepreneurs, and it's happening January 21st. I don't know why that's down so far. Usually those are in the order of when they're happening. So maybe it's not January 21st. Can my team let us know if that date has changed? That's Ginny Trask's summit. If she's here, she's welcome to talk about that one. And then we have breakthroughs that lead to breakups that lead to breakthroughs. This is run by Marty Winder Adams, who focuses on divorced women or divorcing women. However, it is any breakup and any breakthrough. So if you can help people or you have a great story to tell about breaking up with a partnership in business or anything that maybe you had to break up with your family member or something like that, and then you had a breakthrough from that, that would be a great summit for you to be able to join. Okay. Then we have, of course, at the bottom, Speakers Playhouse. Everybody should go to Speakers Playhouse. It's awesome. Okay. Then on the right-hand side, we actually have some of our events. Potapalooza we talked about. Potapalooza is February 19th. You can click on that and find out more about that. We are looking for main stage speakers. If you serve podcasters or podcast guests, and you would like to be on the main stage, that is a pay to play. It's I think it starts at $1,000 to have a speaking spot on that. It is a virtual event, but if you want to speak to a paid audience of rabid attendees, we would love to have you guys apply for that. You actually fill out a form that says I'm interested first. So if you're interested in speaking on that, you can check that out. You can also, if you want to be a featured podcaster, you can also fill out a form to apply. You don't pay any money to say, hey, I'm interested in speaking on this event, or I'm interested in being a featured podcaster. But full disclosure, they are both paid opportunities. We have a $97 fee to be a featured podcaster. But then, of course, you're going to get 10 opportunities to do interviews with people for that $97. So less than $10 an interview. Totally awesome opportunity for us to be able to connect you with our audience of VIPs. So definitely check that out. The Influencers Cruise. Yay! I know some of you are going to the Influencers Cruise. It's happening March 29th through April the 6th. This is an in-person event. Our in-person event gets you a chance to speak on stage on a cruise ship. No joke. Like with a mic in your hand, the whole curtain behind you, the podium on the side or in front of you if you want. You are speaking on a cruise ship and you become an international inspirational public speaker during the event. You get a certificate afterwards that said that you are. It's an 8-day cruise. During the cruise on the at sea days, we have programming for you. We're going to teach you how to become a best-selling author. We're going to teach you all about TEDx and how to leverage that into keynoting and how to land and leverage a TEDx. I got a TEDx and it was great, but then I didn't leverage it properly for years. And it had 1,700 views on it. And I was like, woo, 1,700 views. Yeah, awesome. Now it has almost 70,000 views. Huge difference. So we'll teach you about that. We will also teach you about speak to sell, how to position your offers, how to do a call to action. And we will teach you about rehearsal stages, how to practice and where to find rehearsal stages and how to get feedback and all kinds of stuff on that. So, and you actually speak on the ship with a mic in your hand. So bring your iPhones, like make sure you get pictures of yourself doing that. We have keynoting camp happening February 2 to 6. If you're interested in becoming a keynote speaker, you're gonna wanna check that out. Stay tuned for updates on that. There are changes coming to that soon. Then we've got 3 days to sizzle. If you don't have a sizzle reel, this is an event run by Ginny Trask and Joe Mogazel, Mr. Always Good. They put you on stage so that you can get video of you speaking to a live audience. You do a 10-minute talk and a 20-minute talk during that live event in front of a live audience. And they put you on multiple stages with different backgrounds. So you can create a sizzle reel during the event. In fact, I believe the sizzle reel is part of the package or an upgrade or something like that. So if you are interested in going to Houston, February 28th through March the 2nd, to get finally get video of you on a real live in-person stage, you're going to want to check that out. I think it's $3,000 or something. It might be $2,500 on an early bird right now. If you guys go to that event, you're going to get great B-roll footage and actual footage of you on stage with a mic in your hand and over your ear and in front of a PowerPoint presentation and all kinds of things. Like, it's powerful. And there are so many of us who have spoken on virtual stages for so long that it's really hard to actually get a sizzle reel going because all we have is the virtual stuff and we don't have the audience and the live. And if you are going to be a speaker, you definitely are going to want to check that out. So that's our page on the speaking opportunities. There's something in there for everybody. I think if there's something, if you're a guy and you didn't see anything in there for you, let me know, because voices of color, first of all, and there's tons of stuff there. Okay, so great opportunities. Voices of women and voices of color have no deposit. We don't take a deposit because we have so many speakers on that it's actually costs us money to refund all those deposits. So we just trust you to do what you say you're going to do. Please do it. Okay, show up on time and then actually make sure that you are showing up on time and that you promote the event. I will tell you that we don't take a deposit for Voices of Women. Here's something interesting for those of you who are like, why are you taking a deposit? I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do. Awesome. Yes, you are. But here's the thing. If you're the only one promoting and everybody else is resting on your laurels, it doesn't do you any good because you're speaking to your own audience, right? You're just speaking to the people that you already knew. So we need everybody to promote. So I take the deposit, making sure that everyone will promote. Voices of Women, 2 weeks before the event, last year, we had 1,000 people signed up. 984 of them were from me. We had hundreds of women on this event, and none of them had promoted 2 weeks before the event. It's important that we take the deposit so that we have an audience, all right? So we want you to promote. We want you to help get the word out there that you're going to be speaking on this amazing event and that it's going to be fantastic, right? So please do not rest on everybody else's laurels and be like, oh, I'm going to speak and they're going to love my content, which they are, but make sure that you are a good citizen and you are helping get the word out so that other people can benefit as well. Okay, so that's why the deposits. Your deposit is returned within 7 days of the event. You will get your deposit back as long as you met all of the requirements. You have to make sure that you showed up live for your live talk. We wait 5 minutes. If you're not there, we actually go live and announce that we're not sure if you're coming or not. And then, and we keep the people in the audience for as long as we can. And at 15 minutes into your 25-minute talk, we cut the feed and we're like, you guys go to the other sessions. We don't know where our speaker is. We're sorry they didn't show up, but go to the other sessions. And you have lost your deposit and your admin fee and everything. So make sure that you show up on time live for your live talk. As a matter of fact, you show up 5 minutes early. We'll go through that in just a second. All right, next on the agenda, I'm going to go through what happens before, during, and after speaking on a summit. Then we're going to talk about what makes a great call to action and what does not work so well. I've got 17 minutes to do that, and we are definitely going to cover it. But before I move into that, does anybody have any questions about the events that I've covered? Anybody have any questions about the events I have covered? No? No questions? Okay, I'm going to save all the other questions until after the event, until after I cover it, and I'm going to try to land right at the top of the hour. So we'll see if I can do that. All these events are yours. When you click on the links, you can see more details about the event. So let me show you, because this is actually great questions and timings. So if you click on the event, I'm going to do this one because we've talked about it so much, Voices of Women. So you're going to click on either the event or click on Learn More. And then you will be able to see more about the event, what's required, the admin fee, if you have any questions, and then you can apply here and pay your admin fee. Now there's a green button too, and the green button is, I just want to attend the event, right? So if you just want to attend the event, you can click on the green button and just attend. And most of our events are free to attend, except Potapalooza and then Keynoting Camp and stuff like that, the cruise and things like that. But all my virtual events are free to attend. And then you can click here to return to speaker opportunities. Now, on some of them, I thought we actually had, no, let me look. Maybe it's on this one, guest speaker information call. I'm looking, Troy, for the video. Yep, here it is. Okay, so I think, let me unshare and reshare with sound. You're gonna see what it's like to speak on one of my summits. And you can hear it from the people themselves.
I always love the way you put this summit together. Everything always runs on time.
You always do such a great job. Very organized. I've worked with you before on summits, and your team is getting better and better.
And what I would say to Kimberly and the team is that what you promised is what I received in terms of being a safe space. Just put it out there. We will take care of you. And that is the way that I felt.
Kimberly and team, I have participated in a lot of summits, and let me tell you, like, this has been the most professional, well-run, organized summit I think I've ever participated in. I can't wait to do another one with you guys.
I've been with you every step of the way. I feel aligned with an energetic community.
I'm grateful for the summit because you put on the most fun summits.
What an amazing event. I love how super organized everything was, the communication, and just everything leading up to the event. It was really fun.
This was my first time attending this type of event, and I'm blown away.
It ran so smoothly. Thank you so much for making it a wonderful first experience.
Kimberly, you are so good at what you do, and thank you so much. You did deliver just as promised. We were all in such great hands.
You have created this incredible platform for us, and I am full of gratitude to you for this.
I've attended 2 or 3 other summits before this. This blows them right out of the water. There was so much serious wisdom going on today.
Kimberly, you keep doing this, and you really are changing the world through these summits. It's the coolest thing.
And also, Kimberly, to you for taking the time, effort, and energy to make this happen. You seem to always pull it off. Kudos to the team for making it so seamless and easy.
Kimberly, any summit that you're involved in, I love it because you're so organized. You keep everything on time. Not only do you have the constant reminders, but they're always at the right time. You've got it all set up. You know the system well.
Kimberly, you and your team have just been phenomenal throughout this process. So thank you guys so much for embracing me. I feel kind of like I came home to my people.
Thank you, Kimberly, with all your team. Everything was smooth and totally enjoyed myself.
Shout out to your team, Kimberly, especially to Mercy. This was an amazing experience, and I would love to be, again, part of this.
Kimberly, you have been doing this, and you've got it down to a science. You've got your people, and even at the last minute when I was freaking out and I couldn't find which email had my specific link, 30 minutes before I went on, I sent an email to support and they responded. Yay.
I would also just like to thank Kimberly and the team really quick for putting this on. So thank you.
To Mercy, Art, everybody. There's a fantastic team back there doing unbelievable work. I don't think I could do one of these summits without Mercy.
Thank you for Mercy and Art and Marge, Alvi, and Nat for making the event so great.
Okay, so I think you guys have already seen that. Some of you already watched it, and thank you very much for doing that. We just want to let you know that we're here to take care of you and make you feel as comfortable and relaxed as possible. As I said, there are 25-minute speaking spots. We're going to talk about what happens before, during, and after the summit next. Yvonne, hello, Yvonne. Yvonne did a summit with me. Do you want to share a little bit?
Well, first of all, I probably would not be speaking except for Kimberly. I went to one of these information calls on a Thursday night and she said, I need a speaker on Monday. And I'm like, and she's like, you can do this. And it was great. I mean, if she interviews you, you've got nothing to lose. I mean, I had so many people sign up for my freebie and stuff like that. And then, you know, as my career's been growing, Kimberly has been there, you know, so I did Potapalooza, which was wonderful, which then got me into podcasting. And then she did my summit. So, you know, she is somebody that if you want to make speaking part of how you stay visible and build your credibility, you need to have Kimberly in your toolbox because she and her team are phenomenal. And like she said, she does stuff before your summit to make sure that you know what to do and what your speakers need to do. She just does stuff after your summit to make sure everything is together. And, you know, I think it's one thing to see a video of people saying that, but, you know, I have to say, Marcy probably doesn't even want to see my email after my summit. Because I was like all over the place. But if you've ever thought about either speaking, podcasting, or doing a summit, Kimberly is your woman. Go for it.
Wow, thank you, Yvonne. I appreciate that. Yes, we were not talking about wanting to build your own summit, but I do help people like Yvonne, like Ginny, like Consuela, and other people put on events like this. If you are interested in doing your own summit, first of all, take a deep breath and make sure that you really are.
Yeah.
And then put, I want to do a summit in the chat, and I'll reach out and have a private call with you. We do have a system in place that is fantastic. I put on over 100 summits and would love to work with people if you are serious about doing it. It does generate a ton of people on your list. And our goal is to get you over $10,000 in revenue from the summit and to get you over 1,000 leads from the summit. That's our goal. We don't guarantee it, but our system does work very, very well. So if you're interested in it, you can please put I want to host a summit in the chat box and I will follow up with you personally on that. Okay, awesome. I'm running short on time, so I got to get to you guys being able to find out what happens during the summit. So before the summit, if my team could please put the during the summit in the chat box, that would be great. You're going to get a PDF that walks you through exactly what happens during your interview. Yvonne was one of our interview hosts for the Voices of Women. She did a great job. Consuela is here as well. She did a great job. And so they know that it is very systematic, designed as a win-win-win, a win for you as a speaker, a win for the summit host, and a win for our audience. And it has to be a win-win-win. I've been on many summits that were not a win for me as a speaker. Like I got on and I spent an hour dropping information and giving information, and there wasn't anybody listening, right? Or recorded summits, in my opinion, are the worst. Recorded podcasts are great. Recorded summits, they do not do well. You do not get really good return on that. So we do all of our stuff live, where it's interactive with the audience. All right, so before the summit, you're going to go to one of those forms and you're going to click on it and you're going to pay your admin fee and your deposit if there is one. When you pay your admin fee and deposit, that goes to our team and they're going to look and make sure that you're a match for this summit. If you are a match, they're going to reply and they're going to give you a time that you are speaking. All right. Put that in cement on your calendar because you're speaking. We're counting on you to show up at the event and speak during that time frame. Now, if you get a time and you're like, oh my gosh, that's the exact time I'm meeting with my $10,000 mastermind client, I can't do that time, just email our team back and say, do you have any other times? I'm blocked at this time. Now, if you only have 1 half-hour spot available on the day of the summit, please don't apply for it. Like, that we can't always work around your schedule. We can try. You can email our support team and say, is this time available? Can I have it if I pay? You could try that, but please don't. We would just rather you go to a summit that has a lot of space available, that you're open on that particular day. All right. So you're going to apply, you're going to pay your money. You're going to get an email that says the time. You're going to put that time in cement on your calendar. Nothing else should overlap that, right? So if little Johnny's soccer game comes up, you already agreed to be on the speaking for that, okay? So make sure that you can speak on that day. Again, if you can't speak at that particular time, just email our support team. They will try to move you around if they can. You should be able to email our support team within 48 hours of getting that confirmation. All right. Or just as soon as possible. Please do not wait until a day before the event. It's too late. We already told people that you were speaking and that you were speaking at that time. We announced it to our whole audience. They're expecting you to be there. If we can move you, we will, but it's not a win-win-win. It's got to be a win-win-win, right? There will be people that are hoping to see you at the time that you said you were going to speak. So do it as early as possible so that we make sure that everybody knows when you're speaking and that you know when you're speaking, right? Now, if you're signing up right before the event, then just take the spot that we give you, right? Or like, don't pay. Don't sign up for it, okay? Just be reasonable as a speaker. We do our level best to move you around if we can, but you got to work with us, all right, to make that happen. If you do not show up for your talk, you will lose your deposit if there is one. That's the big one that we keep everybody, that we keep the deposit for. What does properly promote mean? There is a minimum number of signups that we want from you, and we consider proper promotion. The minimum number of signups for most of them are 20 signups. So if you have 19 people on your list and one really good friend, you can join that summit. We just need 20 people to sign up. You can do it in social media. We don't care how you do it. You can do it in skywriting. You can knock on doors. You can make phone calls. I have one person who just sends messenger messages and says, I'm speaking on Kimberly's summit. Could you please just sign up to attend? I'm speaking at 11 o'clock. Would love to see you there. And then she gets hers, and she doesn't even email her list. It's fine with us as long as you get the minimum. Of course, if you go above and beyond the minimum, we love it, and we give away prizes for people that do. As a matter of fact, you can get the recording of your talk for $50 from me, or if you get 50 signups, I gift it to you because we would rather have your signups than your $50. All right. So there are prizes that you can get for going above and beyond. I will give a caveat that it's 30 signups or maybe even 35 for the Entrepreneurs Rocket Fuel Web Summit. So we want established entrepreneurs who can really do that. And it is a high level $300 deposit. Okay. Now, if we require that you get 20 and you get 19 signups, first off, just call a friend and tell them to sign up and that you're speaking at 11 o'clock, right? Do that. But if you get really close, please email the host and say, hey, I didn't get 20, but I got 19 and I'd like to get my deposit back. What can we do? There are other things that you could potentially do to get your deposit back. For example, you could tell people, for mine, you could tell people about Speakers Playhouse or Potapalooza. And if you get a ticket sold to one of those, then awesome. Like, I'll be happy to give you your deposit back if you get one more sale for me. Awesome. But if you have 2 signups and we requested that you get 35, you probably just paid $300 to be on my summit. Okay. So you got to weigh the pros and the cons on that. Right? Most people are charging thousands of dollars to be able to put you in front of audiences like this. We consider this a real benefit to speakers. I do this out of joy. I love doing it. I love putting it on, and we make it as reasonable as possible for people to be able to get on stages. So I hope you sign up for all of them. I hope you join Voices of Women, Voices of Color, Entrepreneurs Rocket Fuel, Inspire Your Life. I hope you sign up for all of them and you get all of your deposits back. That would make my day, right? That would just make my week, maybe my month. Totally awesome opportunities there. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you exactly what happens during your interview, because you're like, hey, wait a minute, I had a prepared talk. Yes, great. I'm glad you have a prepared talk. Please, Troy, if you could put the link in the chat. You probably already did twice, but if you could put it one more time, that would be great. This is what happens during the event. This is a PDF that walks you exactly through. And if you've ever been an interview host for me, you know that this is what we tell the interview host, to walk you directly through every step of the way. So what happens during the summits? I can share my screen for a sec so you know what it looks like, and then I'm going to take it down so we can actually talk about it. But this is what we're looking at. So our summits are unique and follow a formula designed with a win-win-win approach. We've talked about that already. We want the talk to be a win for the audience, a win for the summit host, and a win for our speakers. And with that in mind, our summits are typically very interactive, held live, interview style over Zoom with a global reach. Interview spots are 25 minutes end to end, held every half hour with a 5-minute break between sessions. If you're like, hey, I don't want to do it interview style, I want to do it presentation style, please email your summit host. We do have exceptions to the rule. We like to have the rule work really well, and then we make exceptions to it. So if you're like, I have an hour-long talk I would like to give, that is an upgrade. You can pay a fee to be able to give an hour-long presentation style talk. If you want to sell from it instead of just drop a downloadable, that is an upgrade. We have an opportunity for a couple of selling spots on most of our summits, if not all. So you can drop a link to be able to purchase your program, product, or service instead of just get them on your list if you want. But those are upgrade options available, all right? In the summit, you will have an interview host and a tech host in the session with you. The interview host will be on screen with you during the session, directing the session, and the tech host will be monitoring the chat and answering questions. Just like Troy's dropping stuff in the chat right now, like, hey, drop my downloadable or drop this or whatever. They'll put things into the chat and recap your juicy goodness in the chat. So if you have the road methodology for joy, right? Like I have a framework called the road framework. So it's the get on the road to joy, ROAD. R stands for relish. If you relish it, keep doing it. Do it forever as long as you relish it. If you don't, it needs to go in one of the other 3 buckets, O, A, or D. O is for outsource, A is for automate, and D is for delete. And then as I'm talking about that, Troy will put that in the chat, right? So that you can recap that. So people are like, what did O stand for again? And you'll be able to read it in the chat. So that's what they do. All right. Now, everybody put up 5 fingers. Let me see you. It might raise your hand by accident, but let me see you. 5 fingers, right? 5 minutes before your talk begins, you're going to get into that Zoom room. 5 minutes before your talk begins, you're going to go into that Zoom room. Now, going into the Zoom room, you will meet your interview host and your tech host. It'll be a green room, a private room for just you, the tech host, and the interview host to chat before the event begins. Now, the interview host will verify your name and how to pronounce it. They will verify your talk title, so you know what you're talking about today. I have 10 talk titles, so whenever somebody says, today you're talking about shift your narrative, and I'm like, oh, right, shift your narrative. I guess we're doing that today, right? So we'll verify your talk title. We'll verify your gift or your downloadable. The link for your gift will be put in the chat, so you can check it one more time to make sure it works. And the title of your VIP gift, we do not drop the link to your VIP gift because it only goes to VIPs. Then when it's time for the interview to begin, we'll take a deep breath together, and then we'll make sure you're ready, and then we'll go live. And the recording begins, and the tech host admits the attendees, and everything starts, all right? Then the tech host will play the intro music. Yay, we're starting the summit. It's going to be amazing. And then the interview host will welcome the attendees, announce your talk title, and welcome you to the show. Welcome, everybody. I'm super excited. We have here today Haley Wilson. She's going to be talking about the 6 chakras. Welcome to the program, Haley. And Haley will say, glad to be here. And then we will right away go into your why. Well, super excited to learn about the 6 chakras, Haley. But before we do, can you tell us how you became an expert in this particular area? And she will say yes, and tell her why story. All right, that's your origin story. Then we'll get into your content and Q&A. All right, let's get into these 6 chakras. What's the first one? And then we'll walk you through the 6. If you have 7 or 12 or 3, we'll make sure that we get all of your content in beforehand. If you don't have 3 or whatever, we're just going to walk you through and ask natural questions during the event. We do encourage you to get interactive with the audience. So Haley might say, all right, put your favorite chakra in the chat right now. Is it this one, or this one? Let us know what your favorite chakra is, right? And then they're going to put that information in the chat. Here's a tip, ladies and gentlemen, that no other people are teaching. People who type stuff in the chat, click on your links at the end. People who type stuff in the chat, click on your links at the end. So you want them to find the chat box so they can click on your link at the end, and you want them to be interactive. Then you're going to say, you're going to call people out, and you're going to be like, Jacqueline Pendleton has a question for you, and she wants to know which chakra is the one that can cure a stomach ache. And then Haley is going to answer that, right? We will bring you any questions from the audience who if the question supports you. If something is in the chat that does not support you or tears you down, we're going to look right past that. In fact, we don't recommend you read the chat at all. We recommend you save it at the end, but don't read it during the event. Sometimes people will put stuff in the chat that's irrelevant to you, like, hey, that last speaker, I didn't get their downloadable, what was it? Or they might say something like, I don't believe in chakras, that's hogwash, right? We don't want you to read that. We just want you to go right past it. Or they might say something like, literally somebody said in one of them, they said, why is this guy shouting at us? Does he have to shout? And he read that and he's like, oh, wait, I didn't mean to be shouting. He wasn't shouting, he was just enthusiastic. So he's changing his mic time and like burning time that he could be teaching. So don't read the chat, all right? We will bring you any questions, but do call people out. So if somebody puts in there, you're like, oh, Barbara Hale's chat, her favorite chakra is this one. Or Kay Wagner put in that her favorite one was that one, right? Call out their names. When you say their names, they pay more attention. Right? It's like Romper Room when they look through the glass mirror and they're like, I see Jacqueline and Linda and Jerry and Andrea and Andre and Rhoda and Sandy and Kay and Thomas. And you're like, oh my God, she said my name, right? It's one of those things where they could be doing this and they're like, wait, what did she say? So you definitely want to talk to them directly. If they put something in the chat and you're like, okay, this is, whatever it is, if you call them out, that's awesome. All right. So definitely interactive in the audience. 5 minutes before the end of your talk, which is 20 minutes in, we're going to move you to your downloadable. We're going to move you to your call to action. All right. So as you're winding up the last thing of the 6th chakra, we're going to say, okay, rumor has it, Haley, that you have a freebie for our audience. What is that? And she's going to talk about her freebie. It's the 5 things to pack in your lunch when you go on a spiritual retreat. Okay, awesome. All right, fantastic. So you guys, we want you to click on that link right now. Make sure the link works and put I got it in the chat box once you've got her downloadable. And then people will type I got it. Right? Now, this is 2 things. 1, we want to make sure your link works because sometimes they break and we have a workaround for that, but sometimes they break. And 2, we want the audience to be interactive and right away that you're getting leads. All right. So we'll say, hey, put I got it in the chat box if you got Haley's gift. Okay. While they're doing that, Haley, tell us about your VIP gift. And then you're going to talk about your VIP gift. Well, it is a 6-week course that I taught worth $1,000 about the chakras and going in depth in each one. And it's totally awesome. You guys are going to love this. Okay, great. So upgrade to VIP right now to make sure that you get Haley's amazing VIP gift and all the other VIP gifts, plus the recordings of the event. It's going to be awesome sauce. Next up, we actually have another amazing speaker. It's Andrea Estrella, and she's going to be talking about XYZ. So super excited about that. But before we let you go, Haley, any final words for the crew? So you'll get one last word of wisdom in before we end your session, right? That's your chance to give your words of wisdom. Now, you probably already have them. Like I say, if it's not fun, it's not worth doing, or, make sure you get seen, because if you're not being seen, you're being overlooked. If you're not being heard, your message isn't getting out there, and blah, 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 right? So you have some sort of words of wisdom that you can sign off with. If you don't, you could just say, no, but thanks everybody, glad you were here, right? Doesn't matter. So then we will play the outro music, and then there is no green room at the end. It just ends the session. All right. Everybody gets kicked out and they have to choose which session they're going to join next. So that's how it works, ladies and gentlemen. That's what happens during this session. After the session is over, we actually recommend that you attend a couple of the other sessions, either before your session or after. 1, to give you confidence that you know what you're in for, because you'll see that we go through the same system with everybody. And 2, because you're going to be interacting with the audience during somebody else's talk. So as you're listening to Thomas speak about his talk, then you're going to be able to put things in the chat like, wow, that was a really good point, or I have a question, or whatever. What happens is mentally the audience is like, hey, I really like what he's saying. And I can't wait to hear his talk, right? So you're going to be able to connect with the audience in a deeper way by playing in the chat during the summit. And then people will already be connecting with you. It's a way to build relationship and build community. We do recommend that you also make time to attend the last session of the day. It's called the wrap-up session or the party, right? We call it the Love Fest. The Love Fest at the end is a chance for everybody to come on and raise their hand and say what they loved about the event. And they'll talk about you. And they'll be like, oh my gosh, when Linda Letterman gave her 6-session program, I was like, oh my God, that's genius. And then when Kay Wagner came on and gave her stuff, I was writing notes as fast as I possibly could. And Sandy Austin gave that one-liner, and I was like, boom, I'm gonna put that on my wall, right? So they're gonna talk about how amazing you are. This doesn't happen in anybody else's sessions that I know of, except for people who copy what we do, which is awesome. Right? There are some sessions who have incorporated this now because it's so great for you as a speaker to hear what resonated, what everybody heard from your session. And you get a chance to address them one more time at the end of the session. So you can be like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I'm so glad that made an impact for you. And if we have time, we'll go around all the speakers and we'll let them give one takeaway that people can do for the next 7 days. So you might say, okay, well, make sure that you every morning when you wake up, you decide which chakra is most important to you. Do you need to be grounded or do you need to be spiritual today, right? And then before your feet hit the floor, make sure that you pick one chakra to focus on today, right? So it can just be one little word of wisdom that they can do in the next 7 days to actually implement what you've been talking about. So then you cement yourself in those people's minds. So that's what happens before, during, and after the summit. After it's over, you have one responsibility. Write this down. You have to deliver on everything you promised. So if you promised everyone that wanted one a 90-minute breakthrough session with you, you have to deliver that to everybody who wants one. Here's a tip. Don't do that. I'm not kidding. Like, I am kidding, but I'm not kidding. Like, your time is the most valuable thing. So don't just give it away to anybody who wants it. I don't have a calendar link. You cannot get on my calendar. The only way to get on my calendar is to go through my team and be like, hey, I have this thing. Can I get on Kimberly's calendar? And then my team emails me and says, do you want this person on your calendar? And I actually say yes or no. You can't just book yourself on my calendar. My time is the most important thing, and it should be to you as well. All right. Now, I will tell you how you can give away your calendar link if you want to book calls because you convert really well. I'm going to show you exactly how you can do that. And you can do it as your freebie as well. I'm just saying it doesn't work really well. All right. So here's a tip. Don't do that. I recommend not doing that. Okay. But if you did, you have to deliver. And if somebody emails us and says, hey, so-and-so promised 90 minutes of their time and their calendar is full, we're going to email you and say, please open up times on your calendar so this person can have the thing you promised. All right. So you've got to deliver on everything that you promised. Otherwise, it's not a win-win-win. And that's the motto. It has to be a win-win-win. Okay. Next, as long as you deliver on everything in your you promised, you're done with the summit. Great job. All right. Do your leads, follow up with them, make sales, make money, make people happy, make a difference in the world. That's next for you, right? For us, within 7 days, we return all of the deposits for everybody who earned their deposit back. And we send out a recap email to everyone with all the gifts in one place. So even if they didn't attend your event, they can grab your gift and get on your list. And we send out all the VIP gifts to all the VIPs. And we monitor the Facebook group. We have a Facebook group for all of our different events. So in the Facebook group, it's got your headshot and your talk title and your freebie and your downloadable and the name of your VIP gift when your talk comes up. Next up is so-and-so with this, right? And it posts in our Facebook group. So we monitor the Facebook group and answer any questions that are in there and handle all that stuff. So our job is big after the event, during the event, and before the event. Your job after the event is just to deliver on everything you promised. Okay. Next, we're going to talk about what makes a great downloadable, what doesn't work so well, what makes a great VIP gift, what doesn't work so well. But before I do that, does anybody have any questions about what I've covered so far? 2 questions. All right. I see Sandy and Rhonda. I saw Sandy first. Sandy?
Thanks for calling me up, Kimberly. Kimberly, I've been in speaking for years and you are incredible. I've been on many summits and again, I'm just making so many notes, even though I was on Voices of Women and Rocket Fuel, but you're just amazing. So whenever I want to have a summit, I'm going to have you, I'm going to go through you to get it going, but I'm just so impressed. You're amazing. I love your energy. You go, girl.
Sandy, you're awesome. I would love to do a summit with you. One of the advantages is it gets posted on my website. And when people are like, hey, I want to be on Sandy's summit, you get emails from my website that they're interested in being on your show. So you get tons of leads. I'm not actively promoting that program right now, but if you want to do a summit, I do have time in 2025 to create summits with you guys. So awesome, Sandy. I would love to do a summit with you. Who else had a question? I think it was Rhonda, right? Rhonda, Dr.
Yeah.
Rhonda Simon.
Yes, hi. I am so impressed. This has been a helpful session. I wanted to make sure I understood, are all of your sessions hosted on Zoom and then streamed elsewhere? Or is it streamed directly into your Facebook group, or help me understand
It
that?
is on Zoom live, interactive with the audience. They have to be in the Zoom room where it happens, or if they upgrade to VIP, they're going to get replays of it. But those replays are private right now. There is a possibility in 2025 that we will be releasing some of those, but right now they are private for the people who paid for the privilege of being able to have those, and so we can't broadcast anywhere else because we want them in the Zoom room where it happens, playing with you, not secretly
Gotcha.
hiding in a Facebook group somewhere.
Gotcha. Thank you.
My pleasure. People were asking about parents and health professionals. So if you are interested in that, I have a partner, Dr. Ali Lankarani, who runs a parents group and he runs an event called Health, Wealth, and Wisdom. So that would be a good one for you to speak on. If you're interested in that, put Dr. L in the chat box and we will connect you with him and make sure that you get information. He runs his summits. We actually taught we did his very first summit with him, and then we did like 6 more with him, and now he does it on his own. And he runs it exactly in our format, as far as I know. He runs the before, during, and after. He does the deposits. He does the gift giveaway at the end, and I think he does it exactly the same way we do. So if you speak on that, you are welcome to. I'll connect you with Dr. L. Also, Voices of Color is really good for the health professionals. That is really powerful for them. Voices of Women, of course, if you're a woman and ask that question, that would be one where you could speak on that, but it's not dedicated to that. Your talk title will be on there. So there will be women who are interested in health, women who are interested in wealth, women who are interested in relationships, women who are interested in building a business, and they're going to pick your talk title based on what your talk title is. So if your talk title on Voices of Women is quick, easy steps to keto, then the people who are interested in that are going to go to your talk. While that has a very broad audience purposefully, we want to be sure that your talk title brings in the people that you want. I also have Inspire Your Life, which would be potentially good for that. Check it out and see if it seems like it would be good for you. Okay. Consuela. Hi, Consuela. She does Voices of Women and Voices of Color with me. Consuela, do you want to speak at all about that?
Of course, you get offered the mic, you say yes.
Someone hands you a mic, you say yes. That's our rule.
That's right. That's a rule. That's one you got to learn. Welcome everybody. Yeah. So Kimberly is the master of summits. And if you are brand new, I'm seeing a bunch of comments from newbies in here. Summits, easy way to go. It's an easy way to get started. You're being interviewed. It really takes some of the pressure off and you have fun. So yes, all the way to those of you who are really used to speaking. So summits are amazing. Voices of Women is coming up soon. Voices of Color is the one that I co-host with Kimberly in October. Definitely looking for speakers for that. I put my information in if you want to talk about it before, if you're not sure if you're ready. So set up time with me to do that. But Voices of Color, really important to hear all the voices. Voices of Women, both of them are a party. If you're hanging out with us, it's an all-day party where we just empower each other, and really some magical things happen with everybody who meets whoever they meet during those days. So definitely join. My link's in the thing if you guys want to hook up time to have some more conversation about it. But you can't go wrong speaking at a summit.
Awesome. If you're tentative, yes, book a call with Consuela. But I just recommend just do it. If you're not right for it, we're going to give you all of your money back. We're going to give you, if you're not a match for that particular summit, we're going to give you your money back. Beginners, this is the best place to start as a beginner. This is the best, most safe place to start as a beginner. Please join. At the end of it, you're going to be like, oh my God, I was so scared and it was so amazing. It's super fun. We take great care of you. We are designed to support you. We will never sabotage you. So and like I said, if somebody puts something in the chat or if we have a question, we're only giving you questions to uplift you and make you look like a truly powerful expert, which you are. Awesome. Thank you, Consuela. Barbara, and then Jacqueline, did you have questions?
Yes, I do. My signature talk is very focused to health professionals specifically. Is there a summit that is appropriate for this?
Health professionals?
Yep.
Like corporations, associations, colleges, universities?
No, like doctors in private practice or alternative physicians in private practice?
Inspire your life, and then also put Dr. L in the chat. We'll connect you with him as well.
Okay, thank you.
Potentially the Entrepreneurs Rocket Fuel Web Summit one, but that's primarily creatives.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. All right, awesome question. Jacqueline.
Yeah, just call me Jackie. So I actually wanted to ask, because I connected up with you, Kimberly, somewhere else. So I've done some talks before, but probably not on this level, sort of thing with summits and stuff. And when you were talking about the talking title, I'm like, uh-oh. So where have you got any sort of assistance around that and sort of fine tuning it? You know, because I don't have I've been in show business, but I haven't got a show reel, sort of thing. So with those things, those sort of elements, because sometimes I sort of think, well, I need to get all of my ducks in a row before I step into the arena. I probably don't have a problem stepping on the stage and promoting the stuff and things like that, because that's something I find quite easy. It's just really more so, am I really talking my title, talking to the right people, and have you got anything around that and some of the other elements that you mentioned, that you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do this, you need to do that, you know?
Sure. Come to Speakers Playhouse, find yourself 3 podcasts to get on, and get interviewed by those podcast hosts, and you will tighten up your talk like that. Yeah. Oh, with your title? Just the title? What's your title?
So my title is How Stress is Affecting Your Body Without You Realizing It Till It's Too Late.
Okay. Who's it for?
So women 50 and beyond, or professional women 50 and beyond.
Okay. So I would do how women over 50 can leverage stress to their advantage.
Right, because I used to have a talk called How to Spread Your Middle-Aged Spread, because a lot of people get a middle-aged spread, but it's usually stress related.
Yeah. Anything that has I already taught this, but you can watch the replay, but 3 things: be clear, not clever. So be clear, you put stress in there, that's awesome. Number 2, put the name of your target market inside your talk title, which you did, middle-aged women, totally awesome. And number 3, put a number in there, because our brains want to know how much or how long. So I would say 5 key tips or 7 principles or 3 pillars or whatever, but you just want to add some sort of number in there. Other than that, sounds great.
Right, okay.
You just want
That's
the
fine.
right
Thank you very
people to
much.
show up in your room. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, when I do speak, you know, people go, oh, right, you know, because it is quite a technical thing. It's just with stress, you know, it's a difficult subject. So that's fine. Okay, I just wondered if you had any like templates or anything, any formulas that you had or that.
No, but if you put your talk title in there and your show host is like, you know what would resonate with our audience is this, just be open to listening to that. Sometimes they do that. Thanks, Jackie.
Oh, that's
Margaret.
a good idea.
Yeah, Margaret, did you have a question?
Yes, well, 2 questions really. One is about time zones. I'm in the UK, so is getting an appropriate timing easy?
Yeah. We do from a lot of our summits run from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. Some of them do. Voices of Women does. So you can usually and you can always email our support line like, hey, I'm in the UK. I need something between this and this. All of our summits run in Pacific time. So just translate for them, like, I need something after or before, for you in the UK, give me something before 10 a.m. Pacific, right? And then they will try to do that. And it is possible to do that. We have a lot of our folks in the UK. We have Australia too. Australia needs the other end, right? So yeah, definitely. You are going to get information on what's successful as a download, but I want to get through questions first. We'll talk about what makes a great downloadable and what makes a great VIP gift and why you want to do a VIP gift. Oh my God, mwah, it's so fabulous. Margaret.
The other question was, I mean, I'm a historical fiction author primarily, though I've also written memoir, biography and so on. But I do talks on lots of different aspects of writing, but my passion one is authentic historical fiction. Now that's really niche. So you did mention there was somebody you could put me in contact.
Oh yeah, just email that to my support line. I'm going to take that offline, but I happen to know somebody who does historical fiction, so I can connect you. Cool.
Right.
Just
So
email
your support.
Yeah, support@speakersplayhouse.com.
Supports at Speakers Playhouse, right? Thank you.
You're welcome. Leslie, quick question.
Unmute. Yes. I'm wondering if it's appropriate to do like a short guided meditation after all the interview discussions, because my thing is for people to experience within themselves what I'm talking about, not just listening to somebody telling them.
You can either do that inside your 25 minutes, or you can do it afterwards as a free downloadable, like your free gift. That would be a great free gift. As a matter of fact, that's one of the ones.
Okay, perfect idea. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Kelvin Green, I saw a note briefly in the chat that said you have a question. Kelvin, did you have a question?
Yeah, so one of my major things I want to do is I want to give people access to my content, to my video, right? So I'm going to say, hey, you saw me on the podcast, but some of these people, they're not going to be able to make it to those events. So with that being said, I want to say, hey, I want to post it on LinkedIn so they can see it at a later time, right? So in that scenario, let's say that I got some executives and I want them to come there, but they're like, hey, Kelvin, we want to see your video, but we're not free during that time. Can I get that video so I can send it to them?
So a couple of ways you can do that. One, you can purchase your own video for $50. Two, you can get 50 signups and we give that to you as our gift, as a thank you for getting 50 signups. And three, they can purchase the VIP upgrade. When they purchase the VIP upgrade, they get access to the replays of every talk in the entire summit.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Awesome. Okay, what makes a great downloadable and what does not work so much, and what makes a great VIP gift and why it's in your best interest to give one? Okay, my team, could you please put the link in the chat for the giveaway? I do giveaways 4 times a year. 2 of them are for inspiration and 2 of them are for Entrepreneurs Rocket Fuel to be able to help entrepreneurs. In that, if we could put that link in the chat, that would be great. There it is. So when you click on that toolkit contributor page, this one is for the Entrepreneurs Rocket Fuel. I also have one for that gives people, many people have said that they've got hundreds of leads from participating in this. So if you would like to participate in that, you're welcome to do that. But if you scroll down, you'll see what kind of gifts work well about midway through the page. It's a little closer to the end. If you click on what gifts, or if you see what gifts work well, that is worksheets, checklists, assessments, quizzes, planners, event tickets, tip sheets, calendars, recipes, shortcuts, blueprints, videos, meditations, journal guides, templates, success sheets, success guides, cheat sheets, course modules, handouts, resource lists, and more. All of those work really well, and they get grabbed frequently. It's the title that matters. Now, how many of you have ebooks? Raise your hand. Do you have an ebook? Okay, great. Take that hand, pat yourself on the back. Good job. That was hard work. Do not give that away as your freebie. Okay? Don't do that. They suck. People do not grab ebooks. All right? Here's what you're going to do. You're going to go to your chapter list. You're going to take the first 10 chapters and you're going to create a checklist with the same name as your ebook. 10 tips to blah, blah, blah. Right? And then you're going to give away the checklist. And at the bottom of the checklist, after they opt in, they grab your checklist. At the bottom, you can say, get my entire ebook free here. Okay. So the people who want your free ebook will get it. But the people who think an ebook is too much work and they don't want to do all of that, they will opt into your checklist. Okay. Everybody get that? Hot tip of the day for you guys who stayed late. Hot tip. All right, hot. So don't give away your ebook. If you must give away your ebook, I'm not saying don't, I'm just saying don't. If you must give away your ebook and that's the only thing you're going to do and you're not going to create that brilliant checklist I told you about, call it a guide. Do not call it an ebook. All right, my 10-point guide on whatever. Don't call it an ebook. People see ebook and they think it's too much of an investment, so they just pass it by. Like nobody is going to bed at night like, oh my God, if I just had one more ebook in my life would be complete. Like nobody's doing that. Okay, awesome. I love that you guys are laughing. That's my goal, is to get you guys to laugh out loud. Okay, all right. So ebooks. That's my tip on that. Don't give away your time. Your time is the most valuable thing you have. If you announce that everybody can have 15 or 90 or 120 minutes of your time, you have just told the entire audience that you have a lot of time on your hands and you value it at 0. That's not a great way to show up as their new coach. All right, so don't give away your time. Now, for those of you who are like, but I convert really well. Awesome, I'm gonna tell you, just hang tight for just a sec, okay? Don't give away your time because it's not a really good announcement to tell everybody on the planet that they can hop on your calendar at any minute. It's just not a great way to show up as a professional. Okay, so all those guides and checklists and quizzes and assessments, those work really, really well. Hey, can you put, I gave you no warning on this, Troy, but can you find my Mike Mastery assessment and give it to this group? They can go through and take my assessment. I don't do this as a freebie, but it's super fun. So if you guys want to do a Mike Mastery assessment, you can take it. It might take Troy a minute to find it and then he'll put it in the chat. Okay, I love assessments, but realize that if they have to do the whole assessment before they give your email address, they may not do that, right? So I recommend putting the assessment email up front if you can, and then doing the assessment, and be sure you deliver them something in their email, right? That it's not just the assessment. Please put a name, like first name and email, as an opt-in. I have had plenty of people give away a free PDF and they don't get an opt-in. Like I had one guy on my gift giveaway, on the last gift giveaway, he gave away his ebook, which surprisingly, like 30 people opted into, but he didn't capture any leads. He just gave them the ebook. So please put lead capture on the front of your thing, okay? Next, what makes a great VIP gift? What makes a great VIP gift? This is where you can give away your time. You give away your time to people who are on the VIP list, because if you came to me and you said, hey, Kimberly, after the summit, give me a list of all your clients, but then narrow it down to just the people that I can do business with and give me their name and their email address, I would laugh my ass off and tell you no, right? But when you give away a VIP gift, you've actually done that for yourself. Because these people that are VIPs have spent money. They have found their credit cards and they know how to use them. These are buyers, okay? VIPs are buyers. So now you get access to the list of people who bought something, and they only opt into your free gift if they really are interested in your stuff. And it's not a free gift, it's a VIP gift, right? They only opt into your VIP gift. Now, you're not going to make any money from them for that gift, but ideally, whatever you're giving leads to something else that you are going to charge for. Okay? This is the secret sauce of a summit, right? I want buyers in my list, right? So if I give away a VIP gift on how to host a summit, and I give away a recording of it, and people opt into that, those are my first phone calls. I'm going to be like, I need to talk to. Got it? So ideally, you're getting access to those people. So what's a good VIP gift? If you have tickets to an event that's coming up that you are charging for, and you already are going to do the event, and it wouldn't hurt to have 2 to 50 more people in it, or 1, that's a great one, right? People who are like, it's a value of $197 and I'm getting it as part of my package for being a VIP. That's a great one. Wouldn't hurt you to have more people in your room, right? So great, more people in your room. That's a good one. If you're doing an upcoming teaching and you're charging for it, like a training, like a 6-week course, and you already have 8 people in it, but it would be great to have 12 people in it, that would be a good thing to give away if you charge for it. Now, this is not something you also have for free on your website. It has to meet certain criteria. It has to be it has to be of value. Okay, so it has to have a value of some kind that you're actually charging for. It has to be available with no credit card entered to every single person who's a VIP that wants it. Okay, we have no idea how many VIPs we will have for a summit. So if you can't say for the first 10 people, nope, it has to be everybody who bought VIP gets it. Okay, it can't be a coupon for 3% off your really amazing program. Nope, that doesn't count. Has to be something they get for free. Now, if you do have a really amazing program and it goes on month after month after month, you can give 1 month free, right? But you can't make them enter a credit card. So you can give them the 1 month free and then send them a note saying, hey, if you'd like to stay in it, click here and buy it, right? After you've given them the 1 month free. That's totally legit, okay? And it's of value because you normally charge for it, okay? Or a recording of a class that you already taught that you charged for. Like I really taught a class on how to host a summit and I charged $500 for it. And sometimes, not frequently, but sometimes I will give that away to an audience who's my ideal audience. And even though it's worth $500 and people paid that, it's a recording, so it doesn't cost me anything. So sure. Here's what makes a great freebie, the gift. Something that's immediately available, write this down, immediately available, instantly delivered, and costs you no time and no money. Immediately available, instantly delivered, automatically delivered. Sorry, immediately available, automatically delivered, and costs you no time and no money. Now it costs you time to set it up in the beginning, but it doesn't cost you if 5,000 more people opt in, right? It's just automation going out. That's ideal. Kind of the same thing with a VIP gift, right? If I give tickets to an upcoming event that I'm already going to put on and 10 more people get into it, awesome. But now if I have to upgrade my Zoom because now I need 500 people to be able to get in, that costs me a little bit of money. Is it worth it for a VIP gift? Probably. I'd probably do that. I know it's probably, I just said it that way. Okay, so a VIP gift, ideally, it's instantly available, automatically delivered, and costs me no more time and no more money, ideally. Okay, now this is also where you can give away your time. If they upgraded to VIP, they found their credit card, they know how to use it, they're buyers. And if they want to get in your room for 90 minutes for a breakthrough session, then heck yeah, right? At least you know they have a credit card. They have met that criteria. Okay, ladies, 5 minutes over my 90 minutes. I love that you all stayed here. Those were great questions. And I appreciate you guys for hanging in. If you are watching the recording, please sign up for 2 summits right now. Number 1 is the one that's closest that you want to get in because you don't want to have it sell out. And number 2 is the one that you have to get in for sure. But you're like, oh my God, I definitely want to get in. And one of those could be Voices of Women or Voices of Color or both. Okay. These are powerful summits. It goes out to my entire list. My list is 55,000. I am very good at getting people signed up for summits. I am very good at entertaining and making sure people know it's going to be fun, because if it's not fun, it's not worth doing. And doing live summits is much more productive than a recorded summit because you're interactive with the audience. Okay, that's why I actually teach all these live too, because I can talk to you and you can ask great questions. Okay, I am done with content. Does anybody have any questions? And I saw some really great questions in the chat, but they went by and I didn't get a chance to answer them. So if you have questions, please raise your hand digitally or wave at me, and I will be happy to have you unmute and ask any questions that you have. I feel empowered. This is amazing. Yay! No time, no money. My ears are burning. A great idea for a checklist. Oh, here's a great idea for a checklist. If you have, here's what I love to do. I love to record content based on what people just asked me in my community. All right. So if people say like, what makes a great downloadable? I'll be like, oh, I know the answer to that. So I could create a brand new checklist or a brand new 10 suggestions on what makes a great downloadable? If you just ask me that question and I have that at the tip of my tongue, that is an amazing downloadable. So think back on what the last 5 questions were that your audience, that your clients asked you, and put that into like your, 5 tips or 6 pillars or 3 principles. Great. I have a free interactive 5-day challenge. That'd be a great freebie. I would definitely do that. When it clicks the link, I'm on a phone, it kicks me out. Can you send it to me by email? Carmen, email my support line, support@speakersplayhouse.com for anything that you didn't get. Also, when the replay goes out, we usually send all the links that were dropped in the chat. Ruth, did you have a question?
Have you ever heard of someone giving away an AI? I created a parenting AI. Sound good?
Yeah, I
Okay.
do. I would opt into that.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, if that's your, and what's great about that, Ruth, is that you're gonna invite the right people in. If you want people who are like, I love AI, I want to do AI, they're gonna opt into that. If there are people that are like, AI is the devil and it's going to ruin all of us, they probably won't opt in for it. So you're gonna attract your right people.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome. How do you do all the interviews simultaneously? We have multiple Zoom accounts. Actually, we had 14 simultaneous tracks for the last Voices of Women. And so the people decide which Zoom room they're going to go to. We do not do it in breakout rooms. It's too hard to orchestrate. So they click on the talk that they want to hear and they go directly into that breakout room, that Zoom room, as opposed to us saying, which one would you like to hear? Okay, great. Let me give you that. And then file them. It takes too long to do that. We have thousands of people registered. So that's how we do that. Let's see, time zones, we covered that. Do you have many newbies like myself that have never been speaking before? Yes, we love you newbies. We hope that you have a great, great, great experience. You will. Health professionals, we talked about that. Oh, somebody asked this question. I knew there was a good one in there. Do you have to be a member of the Playhouse? Nope, but why not? It's free, all right? So no, you do not have to be a member of Playhouse. You don't have to be a member of anything. All you have to do is click on the link and pay your money. We'll take your money. And then if you're not appropriate, we will return your money. But mostly, I would say we probably return 1 person per summit, with the exception of Voices of Women. Sometimes we do have guys that apply for that summit. They're like, my target market is women. I want to speak to women. And we're like, that's great. However, this is not the summit for that, right? We actually had one called Badass Women in Business. That was a super great summit for exactly that. Like, women showed up and anybody could speak to them. We don't have that one anymore, but that's awesome. Okay. I'm just scrolling through the chat. Looks like every question. Yeah, Speakers Playhouse is free. This webinar flew by. Thank you. That's how all of my stuff is. Potapalooza is 10 hours and people like, what 10 hours? That's kind of a long time to be there. And at the end, they're like, oh my God, that flew by. It was so fun. If it's not fun, it's not worth doing. Awesome. Great info. Thank you so much. Can't wait to sign up for my first summit. First and second, sign up now. $97. It's a deal. Get bunches of people signed up for your list. And remember, it's also a giveaway. So everybody that registers for the summit gets all the gifts in one place. And we also put your gift into our Facebook group. So you get people from that. And they just grab all the gifts all in one place. Any tips to land a TED Talk? Yes. Georgia, since you put that in there, I'm going to gift you something that's a $197 value. And anybody who is hearing this can also cheat and get it as well. So on the 9th of January, I am teaching the TED Experience. TED Experience, right? If you email my support team, TED Experience in the subject line, I will gift you free admission to this talk. It's 90 minutes, and we're going to go through with my business partner, Frank King. He and I teach. I have a TEDx. He's the world record holder in TEDx's. He has 12. He's booked his 13th TEDx. Second runner-up is Bill Gates, who only has 8. I mean, what a loser, right? So he is the world record holder and awesome sauce. He also is a phenomenal paid speaker coach. And so we're going to talk about how to do a TEDx and how to leverage it into keynote speaking. So if you email my team TED Experience in the subject line, they will gift you free admission, $197 value to that talk, which is happening on Thursday the 9th. If you want the replay of it, it'll cost you $10. Awesome. I'm locked out of Facebook, so is it okay to promote on LinkedIn and mailing lists, etc.? Absolutely. We don't care how you do it. The good news is for all my summits, there is no minimum list size. We don't care how many people you have on your list. If you can get 20 people signed up by talking to them, we're all about it. All right. Fantastic. Interested in creating a TED Talk, please email the support line with TED Experience in the chat box and we'll gift you a free ticket. Thank you, very informative, love it. Okay, can you post it here? I can't because I don't have the coupon code to make it free. Otherwise I would. You have to email my support team. Okay, cool. Any other questions? We're over time, so I want to be respectful of everybody's time. No more questions? Wow, there were a lot of questions in the chat. Okay, let me see if I can answer those. You guys are awesome. You can also unmute. You got to figure out how to unmute if you're going to be a speaker. Okay, their title TEDx. Yes, email my support team the TED Experience, and they will give you a ticket for free to the January 9th talk on that. It's 90 minutes. How do we sign up for the summits? Please put a link in the chat box to be able to sign up for the summits. We're going to give you two links. One is to fill out the form, and one is directly to the speaker page. I'll put the speaker page in there, Troy. If you can have them fill out the form, that would be great. Whoever asked that, please fill out the form so that we can get information on you. But you can browse by clicking on the link that I just put in the chat. You can browse everything that I have available. What's the email for your support team? support@speakersplayhouse.com, support@speakersplayhouse.com. What is, thanks very much, very supportive. Questions and concerns? Okay, yeah. Anybody want to unmute and just say hello? If somebody hands you a mic, you say yeah.
Hey.
Hey, awesome.
Finding
Hi,
that,
Kim, thank you.
that microphone to say something takes time. This has been great. Thank you, Kimberly.
Thank you, Kimberly.
My pleasure,
Yes,
Margaret.
thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank
pleasure,
you, Kimberly.
Margaret.
Yes,
My pleasure.
thank you. And I hope the Latin community also, I can be able to speak to them. That's my area.
Great. Awesome. Definitely come to Speakers Playhouse. It's free. Best 90 minutes of your week. We do it every Thursday. It is live. If you do nothing else, sign up for Speakers Playhouse because it's free and you will get connected to stage hosts who are actively looking for speakers right now. Some of them are free. Podcasts are often free to attend. We have a few paid podcasts because they have enormous followings. And then there'll be people with summits. There'll be people with real life in-person stages, speaking opportunities where you can get in front of a paid audience, all kinds of things. Stacy. I'm sorry, Sandy. I said Stacy. I saw Sandy. It's you.
It's all right. Thanks, Kimberly. I am a part of a speakers group that, can I send them this information? Oh my gosh, because I got someone to sign up for the Voices of Women last year. So, but I'm thinking from my experiences with Voices of Women and Rocket Fuel, oh my gosh, I want them all to know about this and they're going to be so excited. So thank you. Thank you.
It's awesome, Sandy. Thank you so much. My pleasure.
So on that, would I give them the where Troy put in the speaker and show host form? Is that what I would give them, or speaking opportunities?
You do either one. Either one of those would be fine. They could just find out more, whichever one they're like. If they fill out the form, then they get into our system. And if they just browse the speaking opportunities, they can do that too. Yeah.
Okay.
And if you want to be an affiliate for something in particular, we do have amazing affiliate programs. If you are interested in being an affiliate for Potapalooza or some of our other events, let us know. And we affiliate almost everything in my community except for Keynote and Camp. Yeah. I'm not.
So
Except for Keynote and Camp and the Influencers Cruise, we don't.
Great, thank you. So should I email support to ask about the affiliate program?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just tell them which ones you want to affiliate. And they can give you their individual links for those.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. Yeah. And you can be affiliates for multiple. We have to give you individual affiliate links for each one. Awesome. Thank you everyone for attending. I love you all. I can't wait to hand you the mic. You're amazeballs. Super interactive community today. And I hope you got a lot of value. Even if you do nothing with me, I hope you grab a mic somewhere else sometime soon. And I hope you take away some of the tips that I've given you to make sure that you convert as well as possible. Before you get on any stage, you want to be clear on 3 things. 1, what does the audience need to learn from me today? What should they learn from me today? Number 2, at the end of this talk, how do I want them to feel? How do I want them to feel at the end of this talk, right? What do I want to do to inspire them in this way? Maybe you want them to be really excited and energetic. Maybe you want them to be pissed off about something, so they'll call their senator and do something. Maybe you want them, like, what do you want them to feel? And the last is, what do you want them to do at the end of your talk? At the end of their talk, what action can they take to move forward? Right? What can they do? It's also known as marching orders. After I've heard you talk and I love you, what can I do next? Many people fail to make a proper call to action because they're afraid that it's about sales or something like that. I want you to know that the call to action is super important for people. If you want to just take 30 seconds with me right now, close your eyes if you're in a place where you can do it, and imagine that you're reading an amazing book. Right? You're flipping the pages. You love the way that this author created the characters and the rising action and the falling action and all the different stuff that's happening. You love the setting and you love the words that they use. You love everything about this author. And as you get to the words, the end, you're like, I'm going to Amazon. I'm going to buy everything that they have. And you go to Amazon and there's nothing. This is a one-hit wonder. They don't have any more books for you to buy. No, not even a bookmark. There's no web page to go to. You can't find out anything else about this author. Now open your eyes. That is how you made people feel if you don't have a call to action. If they don't know what they can do next to work with you and they want to, you have failed them. So don't forget to give a proper call to action at the end of every your talk. Just give them a natural next step that they can take. All right, ladies and gentlemen, on that note, I never teach that. I don't teach that very often, but it's very, very true. All right, ladies and gentlemen, yes, Sandy.
Sorry again, Kimberly. Everything is so gold that you keep sharing. I have such a full page of notes. What was the first point you just said of the 3 points you
What do you want them to learn? How do you want them to feel? And what do you want them to do at the end of your talk?
Okay, thank you.
If Amazon has banned your books, I don't know what to do about that. Get a website, get them out there, do something else. You guys are awesome sauce. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Kimberly Crow. If I have never met you today, I'm delighted to meet you today. I am super excited that you guys are getting on stages and getting the word out. I see so many amazing faces. Kay, you just popped up at the front of my thing. How are you doing, Lady Jane? What are you up to? You good?
I am doing great. I just published book 4 on New Year's Eve, 4 books in 1 year. The whole series is finished. And I'm also working with some authors to get their promotions out into the world. So if you're an author, hit me up because we have lots to talk about to get your books out into the world.
That's awesome. I don't know if you know this, but Speakers Playhouse also has a Facebook group. And every week we put a thread in that says, tell us about your books. So you can publish in that and you can post in that if you like. If you email my support team, they'll give you the exact thread that you can post on in both of our groups. Cool.
Awesome. Thank you, Kimberly. This has been fantastic as usual. I love it.
Is anybody going on the Marketers Cruise? Anybody going on the Marketers Cruise in like 5 days? We're leaving for the Marketers. Nobody? Okay, awesome. Marketers Cruise is coming up. I usually see some of our community on there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please come play with me. I'm Kimberly Crow. Have a great night. Cheers.